Successful marketing is about positioning a brand in the eyes, hearts, and minds of the consumer, creating a competitive advantage and a strong emotional connection. With end users in mind, empowered marketing is achieving this and more. Dr. Tyra Lindsay Warren is a clinical assistant professor of marketing at Baylor University. Her research looks into consumer behavior and attitudes, and she's an expert in advertising, communication strategies for leaders, multicultural communications, and marketing. Dr. Lindsay Warren, thanks so much for your time today.
Oh, thank you, Sharon, for having me. It's a pleasure.
Well, your research is rooted in narrative transportation theory. In fact, you coined the term empowered storytelling. It's not about a hard sell. What is it about?
Empowered storytelling is more about an emotional sell, right? Narrative transportation theory is a consumer behavior marketing theory that focuses on storytelling. Essentially, it is the process by which one becomes absorbed or grossly involved in the telling of the story, if you will. So my research built upon that foundation. And so empowered storytelling is storytelling that exudes the emotion of empowerment. And then I call it that 1-2 punch impact has we have found a positive effect, not only on consumer behaviors and attitudes, but also consumer purchase intentions, as well as message recall.
Well, some of your research looked at the impact of that non traditional storytelling on millennials in particular. What did that research reveal, and what does it say about this particular target audience?
Well, Sharon, millennials to this day continue to be an enigma to marketers and advertisers. They're not like the baby boomers. They're not like the generation right after baby boomers. They are their own animal, if you will. And they have some characteristics that their predecessors do not have. For instance, they are more emotional. They are more altruistic. They don't want to have one job for 40, 50 years, right? They just have their own dynamics, in terms of what makes them tick, as well as what makes them buy. And so I just wanted to delve into that generation a little bit further and try to hopefully help marketers and advertisers better reach and connect, more specifically to this millennial audience. And empowered storytelling, at least in my opinion, is that marketing and communication strategy that brands can totally use to really make an authentic and genuine connection with millennials, because they don't care about how much money you're making. They are focused on what's your overarching impact that you are making on their lives as well as on society at large.
And do we know if that impact is the same on subsequent generations? Who else is receptive to this type of marketing?
Well, at Baylor, I am currently teaching Gen Z. And then, after that generation, the alpha generation is in high school, and I'll be teaching them next. So, with the Gen Z generation, I feel like they have some similar characteristics. They really want to have their lives mean something on this earth, and they want to be affiliated with brands that share those priorities in their lives.
Well, and I also heard you speaking in another interview about women and how organizations like the NFL have to start thinking a lot more about how they are marketing to women. Are women likely to be more receptive as well?
Oh my gosh, yes, Sharon. A part of the narrative transportation theory that scholars Green and Brock, created and did a lot of research on. And again, I'm building upon all of that wonderful work. They have found that women, when you look at male versus female, women do have a stronger relationship and correlation with narrative transportation theory, because we're a little emotional and touchy-feely, and that matters, right? Especially in today's time. And then if you delve a little bit further into our economics, right? The economics of just being a woman. You know, we are controlling more than, I believe, 63% of the household financial decisions for our families. We have purchasing power in the billions. We are continuing to outpace men in terms of going to college and graduate school and things of that nature. And so just within our own right as women, we are a powerful spending block. And it behooves all brands, I don't care who you are, to pay attention to women. And you know, the NFL, and I love football. I'm a football gal through and through, but the NFL could do a better job. So can the NBA, so can MLB, so can the United States Tennis Association, which I used to be an executive at the USTA. They can do and focus a little bit more energy on who we are, what are our likes, our behaviors, our dislikes, because at the end of the day, we are also purchasing those tickets, as well as the ancillary merchandise and other things that are also involved in the game.
Well, 2020 has seen some brands really excel at navigating powerful social movements and some coming off really as inauthentic, and authenticity matters. What are some examples of both?
Um, you know, I have enjoyed actually watching all the brands try to figure it out, because it is not only about, you know, having empowered storytelling in their messaging and communication strategies, but also within their entire operations. There is this term within business that has been trending for the last couple of years or so called customer experience. And so if a brand is really exuding this emotion of empowerment, and not only empowering its people to do right, and have a positive interaction with the consumer, the outcomes of those initiatives just can be truly fruitful. So given all of that, within this pandemic, in my opinion, Procter & Gamble has done an excellent job in terms of being authentic and sincere, and then, you know, walking the walk and talking the talk, right? Because at the end of the horrible George Floyd tragedy, you know, we had all of these, you know, statements by companies, if you will. We're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. You know, that's talking the talk. And so many companies talk the talk. But as we have progressed, right, since that moment, you're seeing the men separated from the boys, if you will, and there are just some few brands that are actually walking the walk. Procter & Gamble is one of them, with their talk campaign, their look campaign, things that they are doing with women as it relates to their different brands. Another wonderful brand doing some good work is PepsiCo. You know, they are, I believe, the owners of Aunt Jemima, and so they are making a lot of progressive steps to, again, walk the walk. The Kroger company, when you look at the grocery store category, they have weathered the storm, if you will, through and through. And there's so many grocery stores, including Kroger's, Walmart. Walmart had an outstanding campaign during the holidays with that Aretha Franklin song as its theme, "You're All That I Need." They continue to also, you know, from that grocery store retailer category, do a wonderful job too.
Well, are we seeing consumers connecting their morals to their buying habits much more strongly now?
I think so. I mean, the pandemic has just opened our eyes to just so many realities with businesses, with our society, with just our personal lives. And there are a lot of people doing well, but there are a lot of people not doing so well. And it's those companies that can, take the temperature of the consumer and address it with empathy and compassion that will win. And I mean, Sharon, not only win in the short term, but once we are done with this pandemic, consumers are smart and they will remember who was with them during these down times. And so when you talk about short and long term sustainable wins, those brands that, care and want us as their consumers just to be better and live our best lives during the good and the bad times will win.
Well, you've mentioned some stellar examples. Are we likely to see more brands taking this route?
Oh my gosh, I so hope so. I have been currently consulting with a wonderful cosmetics company by the name of Thrive Cosmetics, based in Los Angeles, California. And I have just been truly impressed with the founder's mission to help all women thrive, and that life and things are bigger than beauty. Society, who we are as people, are bigger than beauty. So they are a shining example, if you will, of just a brand who is thinking beyond just superficial issues that we face as consumers and wants to, take a stake in the ground and help women thrive. That's one. And I think some other brands will jump in as well, because they have to figure out how to connect better with millennials, and then Gen Z, and then Alpha following right behind.
Now, we're used to calls to action at the end of old school type of advertising: buy now, save big. The call to action in empowered marketing is something totally different.
Yes. To me, I created this construct of empowered storytelling because it's so multidimensional, if you will, because it's not only just about the story itself. There's the storyteller, right? The creator of the story. And that particular person or entity has to be present and conscious every step of the way that they are presenting the narratives, right? And then they also have to keep in mind, what do they want the end outcomes to be for the consumer receiving their story? Ideally, within this empowered storytelling construct, they want to improve the lives of that end consumer, encourage in a positive way, motivate them in a positive way, and ultimately create something that can truly be transformational to that end user and the receiver of the story. So empowered storytelling, I mean, I just love it. And, because there's so much, or there can be so much negativity in the world and just bad things. At least this is a nice little sliver that brands can take and, walk down this road to encourage, their consumers. And so that's why within an empowered storytelling context, there is no buy now or shop here. It's more about, let me reveal some human experience in this spot, and then let me just share with you our brand logo, during the last 5 seconds of the spot, just to show you we are with you. We as a brand are in alignment with your values and belief system. And for millennials, that works. In my research, we call it less commercialism. So when you talk about buy now or direct selling, that's, hardcore, if you will, commercialism, but within powered storytelling, a less commercialized advertising piece can be just as powerful as a direct selling piece.
Marketing that creates optimism and confidence and encourages positive transformational behavior in consumers. It sounds like a win win. Empowered marketing. Dr. Lindsay Warren, thank you so much for sharing your insights with Newspoint 360 today.
Thank you, Sharon, for having me.